Hey everybody, it's Brandy with Smoky Mountain Stamping. I'm going to wait just a few minutes while we let some people pop on here, show up in their feed. Hope you guys are having a good evening. And I am worn out. It's been a long day, but I always look forward to being able to get in my craft room and do a little stamping. So thanks for joining if you've joined in. Hey Brenda. Oh, goodness, I'm just tired. I know everybody's tired. I know it's not just me. Everybody's tired. Days are long lately, it seems like. But anyway, we're going to do a super easy fun fold card. And I need to, well, I don't know. Hey, I forgot to turn off or turn on Do Not Disturb on my phone. So hopefully... Hopefully I don't get a ton of text messages and phone calls while we're in here. I'm not sure if I can do it while I'm on live. I'm afraid it'll disconnect the live if I do that. So, hi Carrie, how are you doing? Good to see you. So I have a fun fold card. Here is my sample, and this is made with the Sweet as a Peach, and this is how it opens. Super easy. It's just a very simple fold. But if you want to jazz up your cards just a little bit, but you're maybe a little nervous because of cutting and scoring and folding, this is a super easy way to do that. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And I think I'm going to do it with some Christmas paper. So this is crafting on the fly. I know I wanted to show you this card, but I thought, well, I'm just going to make it with you guys. So if you're on here, let me know you're here, and be sure to hit the hearts and the thumbs up as we go along. If you see stuff you like, of course, hopefully, but do whatever you need to. Hopefully you won't be frowny faces on there. But some things that are going on right now in Stampin' Up! World, we have our annual catalog, which is good all the time, and it is just packed with really, really cool goodies. Hey, Susie and Angie, good to see you guys. Really cool goodies in here, and this is actually where I got the paper for the Sweet as a Peach. So that's in our annual catalog, but we also have our mini catalog, which is a seasonal catalog. So this is July to December, and so this has all of our fall cards and Christmas, little Halloween if you like to make cards for Halloween. We've got some of that in here. Just some really cute and pretty stuff. And I've got a few things that I got in maybe since the last time I was on here. I can't remember when my order came in, but I thought I might show you a few of those. I was looking for my tape so I can keep my paper still, so it doesn't go flying all over the place when I start stamping. But let me reach over here and grab some of the DSP that I got in that is just adorable. Let's see. I think that's it. That must be it. I thought I got more than this, but I got a couple packs. So this is our Christmas, and this is the paper I'm going to use tonight to make. I'm going to remake this card, but I'm going to use some Christmas paper with it. So this paper is absolutely gorgeous. And a while back I posted on my timeline a video showing how our designer series paper is created, and this is the paper that they were showing. So if you can see it, it is just beautiful. So I think this is my favorite Christmas paper that we've had, because it's not like overtly Christmas, like Santa Clauses and all that stuff. I just like this paper that's a little bit more subtly Christmas, if that makes sense. Here's the back side of that, and then here's this piece. And the back sides. So the back sides are always, or at least seem to be, a little bit more neutral. And I've said this before, I get kind of excited when I don't like both sides of the paper, because it makes it easy for me to decide which side to use. Here's some cute pine cones. This is, I think, one of my favorite pieces in this, because this, you could use this for Valentine's Day. You could use it for birthdays. It doesn't have, this one piece doesn't have to be Christmas. So I really like that one. Here is this. There we go. And I think, yep, we got one more piece in here. So there's that. And this one, and again, this one doesn't have to be Christmas either. And so I really like it when it's a little more versatile and it's not just stuck into one season or one holiday or something like that. I like it when we can use it for different things. So I'm going to have to make a decision on what paper I'm going to use. So that's going to be, that's always the challenge, is which one do I really want to use? But I think this one is really my favorite. That's Christmas looking. And so this is the piece that I'm going to use for the card tonight. But I wanted to show you this other pack of paper that I got in, because I know we have lots of animal lovers out there. And this is the Christmas paper that has cats and dogs on it, and it's adorable. So, and I love it because we had a yellow, we've actually had 2 yellow labs, and this looks like one of our yellow labs. And there's some kittens, and then I should probably put my glasses on so I can see details on this paper. Oh, wow. It's like a whole new world opens up when you put your reading glasses on. Okay, so we've got some kittens and some cute little mice there in boxes, and the little dogs are just covered up in Christmas lights. It's adorable. I love it. Yeah, maybe that may be a golden retriever, but he kind of looks like a lab. I don't know. And we got some little stocking guys. And this backside, I didn't show you the backside of the other one. So this one is a good one because that would be a good neutral paper. Yeah, for those of you that are animal people, these are adorable. I'm going to be using this paper to make some dog treat packages for a craft fair that I'm going to. And here's this. Now there's a die set that goes with this that will cut these stockings out. Not all of them. I think it's this bigger stocking here. And then there's some star paper. Cute little dogs and sweaters and goldfish. Oh, and here's the back side of that. Just some Christmas lights, no dogs here. I love this piece. I think this is beautiful. The pool party color, definitely will be using that on something other than Christmas also. But just wanted to share that because I know, like I said, we have lots of animal lovers out there, and this paper is just beautiful. And it's versatile because you've got 2 sides, so you can always do something. Let me stick this back in its place before I get it messed up. That would be tragic. Okay. So, there we go. All right. Well, I think we've got a few people on here watching, and so I'm going to go ahead and point the camera down to my work surface. Please be patient as I do that because you might get seasick. You might want to close your eyes for just a minute because it is a little tricky for me to get this. I'm going to put some tape on that corner. Hopefully my paper's not going to go everywhere. Okay, here we go. So we're going to get you this way, and you're not going to... Okay, flip the camera. There we go. Now you don't have to look at my ceiling. Okay, I think that I've got shadows all over the place. I cannot get my shadows very well. So again, here is the mini catalog. And let me find this paper in here for you so you can see it. Oh, there's by the way, while I'm here, this is the dog, the Sweet Stockings Sweet. And here is the stamp set that goes with that. And there are the dies. And it does actually cut out the 3 different stockings, so that's really good. And then the Sweet also comes with these little gems. If you get the whole suite, you would get the stamp set, the dies. You also get this Jolly Felt that's in Bumblebee, Cherry Cobbler, Old Olive, and White. And then you get these matte decorative dots. Get the Sweet Stockings, the Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper. And then you get the Pool Party striped trim. All of that is in the suite. It's $83, and you get all of that. So that's a really great deal, and you're getting 10% off on that bundle there. Now, back to, here is what we're looking for. Whoops, not that one. There we go. So this is the Painted Christmas suite, and these are some beautiful samples that are here. And then let me show you over here. So we've got this stamp set. We've got the seasonal labels, I believe is what it's called. The seasonal labels dies. And then there's this bundle that's also in this collection. So you get, if you were to buy the suite, you get this bundle and this bundle. You get this Cherry Cobbler and Gold metallic ribbon, and I have some of that to show you here in a second. I'm going to use that, I believe. And then you get the Designer Series paper that I just showed you. And one thing that I really love about the catalogs this year is they're showing you the coordinating colors. So if you need to buy cardstock to match your Designer Series paper, you don't have to hunt to the back of the catalog to find that information. It's right there with the suite. So, let's see. Angie, I see you've got a question here. Yes, ma'am. We're going to talk about that too. But so our standard card size. So, you'll take one sheet of cardstock, and you can cut it one of two ways. And oh, by the way, just to let you know, hang on one second. I'm going to go back to Angie. I'll get back to that one second, I promise. So this whole suite, you also get these pretty gold leaves, gold holly leaves. This entire suite, 2 stamp sets, 2 sets of dies, the leaves, ribbon, and the Designer Series paper is $141. You've got one number that you can enter for that, and that is so close to getting Hostess benefits. You just need to add about $9, actually $8.75, and you would get Hostess benefits with this. So you would get $15 in free merchandise at least. So that's a really good deal if you love that Painted Christmas. So Angie, back to your question. So the standard card sizes would be, let me get my Cherry Cobbler papers and I'll cut it for you as we do this. That is Mary Merlot. Hang on one second. I'll make sure. I'm pretty sure this is Cherry Cobbler and I forgot to look. Yep, Cherry Cobbler. Okay, I want to get the right color of red here. Alright, so I'm going to do this on both of them. I'm going to show you both cuts. So you can see your choices. Because sometimes I like to do the long, skinny cut. Okay, so we have our 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. Now you can cut it this way, which is going to give you 2 cards here, and I'm going to show you that. And we're not going to worry about scoring at this point. So we're on the 11-inch side, so we're going to cut this at 5.5. And so then that gives us these 2 pieces. So this is 8.5 by 5.5. And when you fold it over, and I didn't even score it, I just folded it. But I always do, even if I don't score it, I always do take my bone folder and give it a really good burnish to get that fold down. So now your card front is 5, let me double check this, my brain just went, no, it's 4 1/4. There we go, I knew that's wrong. So it's 4 1/4 here by 5.5 this way. Okay, so our basic card front is always going to be 4 1/4 by 5.5. Now, you're going to get the same measurement, but we're going to cut it a different way. And so now, this time, I've got my 8.5 side up. And so half of 8.5 is 4 1/4. And so I'm going to cut it lengthwise. Okay, so I've got 2 long skinny pieces. So if you're an elementary school person, you've got hamburgers and hot dogs. So this is hamburger and this is hot dog. At least that's the way I remember it. So we've got this one now. We're going to fold this in half. And I'm not even scoring it. You don't have to score. Okay. So this is our card size, and again, it's still 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It just depends on which way you want the card to open. Do you want it to open like this, or like this, or do you want to open this way, or this way? Okay, so I hope that helps it. Yes, Brenda, adding adhesive to that suite would bump you right up to Hostess benefits, and we always need adhesive. I seem to always need it. Okay, so I've already got my card front created for this card. So now I need to think about some other colors that I want to incorporate into this. And I'm going to use, because of the way the card that I'm making, I need to use this fold here. So again, this is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and then just fold it in half. And then I'm going to give it a crease. And this is the piece of paper that I want to use. And I want to look at, I think, let's see. Now remember I told you before that this right back here, it'll tell you the colors that are on here. And I think I might use Pear Pizzazz. Ow, I just hit my knee. So this is the way it's going to look. So what do y'all think? Yay or nay? I like that, actually. So I think I'm going to stick with Pear Pizzazz. So I've got this, and I probably have a scrap in my drawer, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut it from my big piece here. Now let me bring in a little piece of paper here with some measurements. So I'm going to cut my cardstock. I'm going to have 2 pieces that are going to be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. One of them is going to be white or neutral. It could be vanilla, depending on what paper you're using. But the paper that I have, the DSP that I'm using has a white background, so I'm going to use white. I already have this piece that's kind of close. I'll trim it down in a second. So the first thing I need to do is cut 2 pieces, 3 3/4 by 5. And I'll get that done. I'm trying to sneeze and it's not coming out. All right. So this is like real Crafting World. Do you always, okay, Susie, do you always use the regular cardstock? Can you use the 12 by 12? I always use regular cardstock just because it's heavier. You could do whatever you wanted to with that, but I always use the regular cardstock. Okay, so now we're going to do 3 3/4. Cut that, and I remember, I think I've told you this, I like to cut from the bottom, make sure my paper is bumped up against this edge. Cut from the bottom up so that I know my paper is not going to slide around. So that was 3 3/4, and then 5 inches. Okay, so when I lay that on my card, you can see how that's going to layer. It's going to leave a larger border than what I normally do. Okay, so set that aside, and then I'm going to cut this white piece down to the same measurement, and you'll see why in just a second. So 3 3/4 by 5. All right, get my scraps off of the side. And then I need a piece of Designer Series paper that's going to be 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And so I'm going to take my Designer Series paper and cut it at 3 1/2 by 4. let's see if you can see that, 4 3/4. Okay, and since I've already got it there, I'm going to go ahead and cut a second piece because I can make a second card out of this pretty quickly if I already have that cut. Okay, so that should be all the paper cutting that I need to do. And now to keep this really simple, because I told you this is going to be a super simple card, I am not going to score for the next part because you don't have to. So you're going to see, here's my sample card. And you see how it opens here. So this is just a half a sheet of cardstock. So here's our base. So you can see same size. Okay, but this is our little fun fold. All right, so to get that fold, you have your card like it's going to open up regular, and you're going to take the top flap and you're just going to fold it back on itself to meet at the edge. Let's try to get those corners lined up before I do any work with my bone folder. Okay, and then once I try to hold those corners in place, and then just take my bone folder and press that down really well. Okay, I'm going to open it up and just come on the back side here and do the same thing. The better of a press you get with that bone folder, the flatter your card's going to lay down. And I'm just going to go back over that. Okay, so that's our fun fold. Really, that is all you have to do. Now, for the next part, it's important that you put your inside piece down first. Okay, so this is the piece that's going to go in here. And the reason we're going to do that is once we put this down, then we can bring our fold over. And then I'm going to put this piece and I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to make sure that it completely covers that piece of white. So that's why I want to put this down first. It's easier to do it this way. Okay, so I need to decide if I'm going to stamp on this little piece. Let me grab my stamp sets that go. Let's see, Christmas season. I forgot to grab these. So these are the 2 sets that go with this bundle. And I think I'm going to just take one of these leaves and stamp it in the Pear Pizzazz. I think. I just like to keep it simple sometimes. So I think I'm going to take this one, and I'm using, see, these are the clear ones, so it might be a little hard. I'm using this one, and I'm going to stamp it in Pear Pizzazz. Grab a block and Pear Pizzazz ink. Now, one thing with the photopolymer stamps, and that's what these are, the photopolymer, the clear stamps, is sometimes when they're brand new, there's still a little film because they have to, when they pour these into the molds, there's a mold release so that these will come out of the molds really easily. And so sometimes there's a little film left. And so sometimes you may not get a super clear image the first time you stamp. And I just get like a stick eraser. And I just kind of go over this the first time I use one of these. Especially, now if it's something that's a fine, I don't worry about it as much. But when it's got these bigger surface areas like these leaves have, I just kind of go over it. It helps get that whatever that mold release agent is on there. And I just find that I get a better image. The other thing that I often forget to do, but I'm trying to do better about, is when I stamp with photopolymer, you want to stamp with our paper piercing mat. And the reason you want to do that, if you've ever noticed on our foam stamps, there's this cushion here, but on our photopolymer stamps there's no cushion. So if you're stamping this onto a hard surface, sometimes you don't always get a good clear image. And so when you use the piercing mat, you've got a little bit of give to it, and it's going to get you a better image there. So just to share that little tip. Now I'm going to also, since I just went over this with the eraser, I'm going to stamp this a couple times just to make sure and kind of give it a little twist, just to make sure that I've got a good image going. And there's one little place I'm just gonna, and so this is a good way for me to test it and see if I got everything off of there. It's just good to do. Okay, so I'm ready, and I'm just gonna stamp a few little leaves. Try not to get ink all over this. And let's see, I don't know how I want to do this. I'm gonna stamp off for one, just so it's not so. There we go. Just a little bit. Just so it has some color on that inside. And that's all I'm going to do for that, for the inside. All right. Now going to put our card together. I'm using my Tombow liquid glue because I want to have just a little bit of time to move around. And I say this every time because every time somebody forgets, but you really just need a tiny bit of this stuff. It is so sticky, and you don't want to get in a situation where the glue is oozing out the edges, because it is a two-way glue. And what that means is if you let it dry, it becomes a removable glue. So it's just tacky, so you can pick up, but that's going to pick up dirt when it does that. So if you get extra glue out here on the edges, it's going to pick up anything that touches to it. You don't want to get any dirt on your card. And I got a little fingerprint right there, so I may put a rhinestone on there and cover it up. There's no mistakes, just opportunities to embellish. All right, so I'm going to also go ahead and put my front piece together, and I use my Tombow for that. And this stuff dries really, really quickly, so you don't have to worry about that. And I just usually like to go over with my bone folder to get all the air bubbles out. Okay, now this is the Cherry Cobbler and Gold metallic ribbon that is in this suite. And so I need to make a little plan here. I had a label, and it's gone, of course. All right. So I'm going to cut out my label since it disappeared. So in this, you can see how this is going to come together, but I think I'm going to tie the ribbon on here, so I don't want to glue this down yet until I get my ribbon around it. So I'm going to set that to the side, and I'm going to cut out. I'm going to use my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and don't forget that I am doing a giveaway for the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. You could win this. All you have to do is place an order using the host code, or you can also get an entry for when you share. Get a scrap piece of cardstock here to cut out our sentiment. All right, there we go. So I just got a little piece of cardstock. Now this is the mini one, so this is you can get a piece of about 3 1/4 inch wide on this one. And this is the seasonal label dies. It's also part of this suite. And so if I'm not sure which one of these I want to use, I can just kind of come around here and see. Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. That fits there really well. I like that one. I think this one may be a little bit bigger than what I want to use. I think I'm going to do the Holly Jolly Christmas. I really like that one. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. All right. So I got that picked out. Now, I'm not going to put the sticker on. This one you can see I haven't even used it. I just got this in last week. So I'm not going to put my sticker on it. And I'm going to stamp it in Cherry Cobbler. And let's see, maybe we'll grab a block. And because I'm cutting this out with my die, it doesn't even have to be straight on my cardstock. So I've got my Cherry Cobbler ink. There we go. So there's our greeting. Okay. Gotta put all my dirty stamps in one place so I don't forget to clean them. And so now with this mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, it tells you exactly what plates you need to use. So I need the number 1, which is this one, and then 2 of the number 2s, which are the clear plates, and everything is numbered, so it is really hard to mess this up. So now I'm going to put my piece down here, and then I'm going to line up my die, and I usually have a little piece of Post-it tape over here. Of course it's gone. But let's see. I have a Post-it note and that'll work the same. I am going to just put a little Post-it note on here to make sure that when it goes through it doesn't move around and that doesn't affect anything. All right. Okay, so hopefully that'll keep it in place. Then I layer my other plate on top, and then I just start cranking it through. You may hear some cracking and popping when it goes through, and that's completely normal. And then when I'm done, I can just close that up and set it aside. And I've got our little tag there. All right, now we're ready to get together. So I'm going to wrap this ribbon around and tie a bow. Something sticky on my hand. Actually, I think I'm just going to do a knot because this ribbon is a little bit thick, and I don't know if I want a huge bow on there. So I'm just going to tie a knot. I did not get them. There we go. Just take my snips, cut the tails. So we've got that. And then I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals, which are never where they're supposed to be. Here we go. Probably about 4. And I'm going to put these at the top and at the bottom because my ribbon's going to be going through here, so I don't really want to put it where the ribbon's going to be. And then that on there. I just twist my bow. Oops, got some unraveling going on here. Let me trim that again. Well, those are not my ribbon scissors, you can tell. I'll get my good ribbon scissors out. I got stuff flying all over the place in the craft room tonight, y'all. It's crazy. Trim this one down just a little bit more. There we go. I like that. Get all the scraps out of the way. Okay, so remember we talked about this is going to go over here. But you can see you do not want to have any adhesive on this side. So, trick to doing that is you get it in place, you're going to flip it this way. Make sure you're covered. And then I'm going to take my Tombow, and then I can see right where that edge is. And I can just make sure that I don't get over that. And I can flip it again. And this is where the Tombow is really helpful, because once you get it down, then you can kind of slide it around just a little bit to make sure that you're covering that back side. And then just give it a good press. And I just hold on to it for a second. Little bit of glue squeezing out there. So I try to catch that as soon as I notice it. And so a card is not going to be complete without rhinestones for me. Now we have clear rhinestones. We also have holiday rhinestones. But if you don't have holiday rhinestones and you have if you have our Stampin' Blends markers, you can color with those. And so I'm going to do that just to show you. I'm going to use the dark Cherry Cobbler Stampin' Blends. But also, these are alcohol markers. And if you have a Sharpie, you could do the same thing with a Sharpie. And I'm going to just pull these here because they're extra. Hey, Holly Patterson. Yes, we're having a holly jolly Christmas. Thank you for joining. And so all I have to do is take, and this works really better with the dark, if you're trying to get, you know, close to the cardstock, the dark Stampin' Blends is best. And so I'm going to probably just go ahead and do about 5 of these. Since we've got the holly on here. And then just give them a second to dry. Blow on them a little bit. And then I always use my my Take Your Pick tool. And I just come from that. It's got some putty on the end here. So this is always something good. If you don't have one of these, it's great. It has this other end where it's got a spatula. And then there's also an end. Let's see. Well, I have 500 of these, and all of them have the same end on. We also have one that has like a stylus tool on the end. So, but I take the putty end and I just push from the side, and that putty picks up the rhinestone, and then I can come in and put it on here wherever I like, and I can put some on the card just to add a little bit of sparkle. And you remember I said I had a little boo-boo there on the inside, so I think I'm going to, I don't usually do this, but I'm just going to color a couple more. And I'm going to put a couple on the inside, just because I can. It's your card, so you can do it however you want to. So I'm going to put it right over that little spot, and then I'm going to put some down in here into our leaves. And there we go. So I fixed that right up. So that is our super easy fun fold card. So if you're wanting to stretch your stamping skills, if you're new to stamping, or even if you're an experienced stamper, this is just a quick and easy fun fold card. But if you're new and you're wanting to get some other a little fancier thing going on, you can do this little fold here, and it's perfect. It makes a beautiful card, and you don't have to worry about, you're still cutting your same normal card base size. Let me put my rhinestones away so I don't lose those. Let's see. Yes, Susie, I totally could go through here and put rhinestones on all of those, but I love my rhinestones, but I'm also kind of, I don't want to use them all up. You could also go through with some Wink of Stella, and you could go through on all of these little berries. And let me see if I've got, this one may be dry, but you could go through and put some Wink of Stella on all of these little berries, and that's just going to add some sparkle. I like that. Thanks, Susie, for that suggestion. All right, there we go. And we have, so some things that are coming up. August 28th is my October Chicks and Chocolate class. And so the class is free. If you have a purchase of at least $25, you get the class for free. And we're going to be making 8 cards, and this may very well be one of those cards. So if you'd like to make this card, you can register for Chicks and Chocolate. There is an event on my Facebook page. You can see that. And you have to register by Saturday because I have to place my order for materials. So I need you to register by Saturday if you would like to come to the October Chicks and Chocolate. If you can't find the link to register, please send me a message and let me know that you want to come, and then I will help you get registered for that and make sure that I have a space for you and that I have materials ready for you. If you have any questions, just let me know. So that's coming up October 28th. It's from 6 to 8:30, and we meet at Woodlawn Christian Church in downtown Knoxville, or close to downtown. It's just off Chapman Highway near the South Knoxville Post Office, if you know where that is. And so that's what we're going to do. Now, the name of the class is Chicks and Chocolate, so unless I happen to forget, like I did one time, to pass out the chocolate, I always have little chocolate treats for everyone. I want to bring in my sample card one more time to show you that one, so you can see how different they can be. So you can use the same design for any occasion. But also, just to remind you about the giveaway that I have going on right now for the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Any purchase gets you an entry into the giveaway. You get an entry for every increment of $25. So even if it's just $10, you're still going to get an entry. When your order gets to $100, you get double entries. So you would have 10 entries if you got to $100. And right now, I'm just going to say the chances of you getting it are pretty good. There's not been a whole lot of orders, so make sure that you get your order placed by Friday night, midnight Friday night. No, I'm sorry, Saturday. And then we're going to do the drawing. And if you join my team, you'll also get 10 entries into it. So the best deal in our catalog, if your wish list is over $99, then the best deal in our catalog is the starter kit. Does that mean you have to sell Stampin' Up! Stuff? Absolutely not. Most people, the majority of people, sign up just so they can get all of their supplies at a discount. And what I used to say was I could support my habit that way. But you get $125 worth of product for $99, and then you also get free shipping, so that's an additional 10% savings. You also get to be part of our Smoky Mountain Stampers team and join in the all our fun events. We're getting ready to go to Sevierville for a Stampin' Weekend, just our team, and I think that's going to be a good time. So would love to have more people join our team and participate in our team events. So that's all I've got for you guys tonight. Don't forget those things that are going on, Chicks and Chocolate and the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss giveaway. If you have any questions on any of these things, if you'd like more information on this card, I will put these measurements in the video description afterwards so that you can have those. But if you have any questions, just let me know. Send me a message, text me, email me, whatever it is, however you need to contact me. I would be happy to help you. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator already, I would love to be your demonstrator. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week at 8 o'clock. My new time for Facebook Live is going to be 8 o'clock on Wednesday nights. So thanks a bunch for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.